Hello guys, just got myself a new alarm for my Volkswagen, and this one I got from China, from my good friend Aliexpress. Let's do a quick unboxing and wire it together and see how this functions, because it has some really nice functions. So, this is just the box. I already put it on the table. So, let's start by the remotes, which are very nice ones. It is looks like Ford came in like this, because there are some Ford logos. Oh, is it possible to see it? Ford logos included. Two blank blades, which fits inside here. You can see that this is already open. So if I manage to do it, so it looks like this, and when you click it, yeah, that went so fast you could hardly see it, but then you have the holes for the blades. And there are also some locking pins for the blades, which you put inside the holes on the side there. So far, so good. What else you have? You have a push pin, push button, pin button, which goes to earth. You have the blue LED lamp with sticky glue something to the dashboard. You have a shock sensor, which you can adjust by a screwdriver, the sensitivity, also with a glue pad. Or this one also has some ears, so you can put some tie wrap and wrap it around some wires in the dash. It has a button which you need to, if you lose the keys or if the keys don't work, you need to disable the alarm by this button. You have a very nice antenna, looks like a long distance one, also with some double side tape on the back. You have the alarm unit, has some dip switch, you can program it, which we can get back to later. Contacts, yeah, black all the way around. This is how the alarm looks like on the inside. Looks very well made, I will say. Lots of relays and integrated circuits. Yeah. Very nice manual. It has a few errors, which I have tried to correct by a felt marker. Yeah, maybe you can see it. You have an immobilizer relay with a separate harness like this. Very nice. Wires for the what they call a small plug. Wires for the shock sensor, which fits only one way. All the cables only fits one way, so or one place. You cannot interchange them. Small, tiny blue one, which has a spade. You have the main wiring for the big current with big fuses. I think it was 30 amps, which fits, of course, in the middle. And you have the multi-cable for the central locking and some other functions, which also fits only one way, and that is over here. Plastic bag which contains all these small parts in the same, and two zip ties. And the horn, which is extremely loud. You can barely stand close to the car when this alarm goes off. Yeah. Two wires, one for earth and one for the pink cable. That was all in the box. The box looks like this. Has some nice graphics on it. Same on the back and the front. Yeah. I will wire it all up and we can take a closer look at how it works. Okay, let's go through the manual step by step. First step is arm and lock the car. This is the top button. Every time you hit that one, you will get a signal from the horn, one beep, and these two will blink once. This is the power window. You can use it if you would like. This is power on for 12 seconds. And to disable the alarm, you just press this button with the open. Then you get 2 blinks and 2 beeps from the horn. Then you have the function which I love. It's the silent mode. Because this beep, it is extremely loud. So if you come home at night and try to activate the alarm, this is not good. Or close the door. Not activate the alarm. So the silent alarm, you click it once. And no. No sound. Excellent, eh? Open the door, no sound. The only disadvantage is that the shock sensor will not activate the alarm. It will only activate the lights. So let's close it. And you have to wait a few seconds. And the power window is going up if you have that one connected. And after some time, no, not yet. You have to wait a little more. There we have it. The shock sensor will trigger, but it will only blink the light, no alarm. To get the alarm on the sensor, you need to disable the alarm. Press this one 2 times. 1, 2. You heard the shrimp. 2 shrimps. And then we're back on normal. But then, of course, you also have this noise. So if you now wait the same seconds, I think it was 20, power window is still closing. See? Then you get the alarm horn. It will sound about 5 times, I think it was, first time, and if you trigger it within 20 seconds, it will sound for 25 seconds. That's an excellent feature. But I like the silent one, so let's keep it silent. On. Yep. The alarm in silent mode will work as normal if you open the door. Or if you press the open the ignition, turn on the key, it will also sound, but not with the shock sensor. That is good to know. Then we have the trunk. You have a trunk release system button for it. It's the same one as the starting button. I will get back to later. So if the alarm is armed, and okay, forget this one. And if you then press and hold it, and I press 2 times, then the trunk relay, we got a signal to open. It will also work in when the car is open. Yeah. If you arm the car and want to open the trunk, you don't need to disarm it. It will still open. 2 times, trunk is open. And now the shock sensor is disabled, but everything else is armed. So now you can get into the trunk, put whatever you need in that, and close the trunk, and then arm again to get this one active. Yeah, there you have it. The alarm also has a panic button or a find my car button. If you press the lock button for 3 seconds, the siren will sound. So you can find your car. Then hit it again and it will stop. This function only works if the alarm is not in silent mode. In silent mode, you will only see the indicator. So if we open the alarm, click the silent mode, close the alarm, power window closing, and if you then hit the Find My Car panic button for 3 seconds. There we go. No alarm, only indicating with the parking light. So that's also good to know with the silent alarm. In any mode, if you open the door, I have put a switch here for the door, even if it's on silent alarm or not, it will still sound when you open the door and indicates. The same, of course, if you put on the ignition. If you manage to come in without opening the door, you have the same. The alarm also has a nice function, which is opening door flashing. So when the alarm is off and you open the door, the indicators or parking lights will flash as long as the door is open. This one you can turn off if you don't like it. Closing the door, shutting off, open the door, starting again. To disable it, the ignition needs to be on. Then you press both buttons simultaneously. Oh, it's very important to do it exactly right. There, and you have a shrimp from the siren, and then this function is disabled. No, it's no blinking. Door open, door closed. Alarm is working like normal. To get the function back, you put on the ignition, press and hold the 2 buttons. You get 2 shrimps for the siren, and you are back on indicating when the door is open. It also has a nice feature that if you are unlocking the car, let's say it's locked, and you are unlocking it by accident, it will take about 25 seconds, and the alarm will arm itself back to the last state. So let's just wind forward. And here we go. It's arming itself, closing the window again. It will do that every time you activate the alarm. The alarm also has an auto arming reminder and auto alarm. So when you leave the car, turning off the ignition, opening and closing the door, it will go about 10 seconds, and it will give you 3 shrimps and indicates you have to turn on the alarm. You have it? 2, 3 times. No indicator, sorry for that. And this is also very annoying because the sound is very high. So you can deactivate this system by putting on the ignition, pressing lock and unlock, and the siren will indicate with 1 shrimp, and then this function is not activated anymore. So if you know, let me see, we open the alarm, ignition on, and open the door, and now it will go 10 seconds and it will not be any sounds from the system. That is also a nice feature because I hate these sounds. The next step is the anti-hijacking. When you are driving, ignition is on and you press the red button on the bottom head. The indicators will start flashing very quickly. And if you do it again within 5 seconds, then they will flash slowly, and within 15 seconds the alarm will sound. So if you get in an emergency mode, you press once and you press one more time. It goes slowly for 15 seconds, and after 15 seconds the horn will sound the alarm. So hopefully the thieves or whatever it will be run away. There you have it. Turn it off, just open the lock. That was anti-hijacking. Next one is there's a memory mode. So if the power, DC power from the battery, or at this case the power supply, is cut off and put back on, the alarm will remember which state it was in, so it will come back in the same state. You can also, if you lose the remotes or drown them in water or something that they don't work, you can, by this tiny switch, which connects back on the alarm, disable the alarm by a code. I will provide the text for it up here so you can see how to do it. Then they have something called a valet mode. That is very interesting. In valet mode, you disable all the alarm functions, but you will still keep the central locking up and down. That is very handy. To do the valet mode, you start the engine, the brake pedal, which I have over here, is pressed, and at the same time you must press and hold the lock button for 5 seconds. So let's try that one. Ignition on, brake, and hold for 5 seconds. One trip, and the LED will stay blue all the time. It will not blink. It will be blue constantly. Then you can open the doors, close the doors, no sound, no lights. Everything works normally, except from the visual indication and the sound. That is nice. And then, of course, you can take off everything and arm the car. It will not happen. No alarm. So, to undo the valet mode, you do the same thing. Ignition on, push the brake, hold the lock button down for 5 seconds. You get 2 sound shrimps from the alarm, and then you are back in business. So if you now arm it, it will indicate that everything is normal, and it will sound. Very handy function. And then it says something about remote pairing. If you need another remote, you can do that as well. I can provide some text for it up here. And then we came to the remote start. That's a nice feature. To make it work with the self-start, remote start, sorry, you have to engage the parking brake, which I have done over here. And then you need to hold it, press and hold it. And then the starter motor will turn around maximum of 3 times. To make it stop, the brown and white wire needs a positive signal from the diesel pump or gasoline pump. So now it started attempt number 2. I put in the signal, positive. This is the last attempt. Now we have got the 12 volt signal, so now it's feeling okay, it has start. And when it starts, it will start blinking the parking lights as long as the engine is running. This is programmable by two types. You can run the engine for 15 minutes or for 30 minutes. I think the default was 15 minutes. To make it stop, you press and hold this button again, or you press the brake pedal. Press and hold, 3 seconds. There we go. Everything is off, and everything is back to normal. It will start indicating that it's... Yes. That was the remote start, and that was, I think, about everything in the manual. Manual is very good. I'm really looking forward to change the alarm in my car, because my car has not this nice feature with the disarming in silent mode. So I love this function. So if you'd like to see it, I can put up a video when I have installed it in the car as well. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.